I think we're live. Are we live? Yes, we are. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new stream, and that is right, we are back with a very, early stream. I know I don't usually stream this early, I usually do it after in the, later in the day, but, well, I have some stuff going on later, so we're doing this stream a bit earlier. I hope everyone's having a phenomenal day, night, afternoon, midnight, wherever you are in the world. I'm certainly having a great day myself, and today, we're going to do a quick discussion about the 2022 elections, or 2024, and then be done, because I got some stuff going on, construction stuff, I don't freaking know, but anyways, I hope everyone's having a good day, and before I forget, I hope you enjoy these type of streams. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. And like usual, if you want your question, comment, concern, whatever for sure answered, the best way to send a super chat via the chat. So, yeah. Alright, everybody. Let's get into it. Let us get into the stream for today, and again, it's gonna be kind of a quick one, so I recommend if you have any super chats or whatever, send them earlier than later, because I don't know how long I'm gonna go for, because some stuff's going on, so there's that. Alright, let's get into it, because a new Emerson poll came out today. This is kind of the main topic for the video. Emerson just released a new national poll. We're gonna go over it for the Republican primary, and also go over the fact that Biden's numbers are absolutely pathetic. Like, this is awful. Some of the numbers that we're seeing from President Biden. I don't get how people could say, yes, this is fine. It's just, not looking good for Biden. Real American, would you have preferred a Trump 2020 presidency, even with a Democrat-controlled House and Senate? No. Because at that point, you would have got nothing done. So, like, I could see the argument for, oh, well, Trump would have been in there, but it's like, you wouldn't have gotten anything of noteworthy done. It's like, nah, I don't know. Anyways, let's get into it. The September Emerson College poll national survey of U.S. voters finds former President Donald Trump with a 47-point lead over his closest competitor in the GOP primary, his largest lead since tracking this race in June of 2022. Trump's support increased 9 points since last month's national poll. Yeah, so much for that bump by Nikki Haley. Anybody with a brain would have realized the Nikki Haley bump was... that was at best a temporary effect. I mean, she's already back at 3%, when she was up to 7% last month. That's what I'm talking about, people. These bumps that some of these candidates got, like Nikki Haley and Mike Pence, they're just for a month, and then they went back to what they were beforehand. So no, Nikki Haley is not going to magically turn around the election. That's not going to happen. Because, well, she's Nikki Haley. There's no possibility of Nikki Haley beating Trump. The fact that people think that's even remotely possible, I don't get it. I don't freaking get why people think it's some magical data out there that Nikki Haley can win because she didn't lose the debate. That's your reasoning? Good for you. Instead of getting an F tier at the debate, you had a D tier debate performance. Just good job. I don't get it. I really do not get what some of these people are thinking. The Trump voter remains resilient, and despite a dip in August's post-debate poll, Trump has now expanded his lead and has improved his position from before the debate. Spencer Kimball, executive director of Emerson College polling, said. So this was just because Trump didn't show up to the debate. That's what this was really about, that, hey, some voters are like, he didn't show up. I'm going to see who these other options are. Ooh, Nikki Haley, she seems good. Oh, wait. She wants war with Russia, so never mind about that. But it does show that this surge other candidates are getting, it's bullshit. Complete and total bull. And I don't think Nikki Haley's going to be the VP. Some of you are saying that, oh no, there's no way that Nikki Haley or Trump is not going to pick her. It's like, what's the purpose of picking Nikki Haley when she's at 3%? Overall, 63% of Republican voters say they will definitely support their chosen candidate, while 36% say there's a chance they could change their mind and vote for someone else. 75% of Trump voters say they will definitely support him in the GOP primary, up 4 points since the August survey. 75%. Just do some basic math here. Let's just do some real American math. Let's just look at the math for a second. So let's say 75% of Trump voters, in fact, no matter what, stay with Trump in the primary. He would still be at 44% of the vote in the primary. That's not accounting for other candidates, possibly switching to Trump, like Ramaswamy voters. It's like DeSantis. He's only at 42%. The fact that people think Trump's going down, like magically they can convince people to switch their support, it ain't happening. It's done. It's over with. Trump is going to be the nominee. We've been saying this for what? 5 months now? There's no evidence to back up this idea that Donald Trump will magically collapse in the polling. He's at 59%, with over 75% saying they will 100% stick with Trump. You're screwed. Drop out. I don't get why some people are still thinking it's even a remote possibility. Here's how Ron DeSantis can still win. Pretty much. That's where we are at as, I guess, an election. Why are these people still in the GOP? I don't freaking know. Some of them say, oh, the party left me. It's like, no, you left the party. President Joe Biden, this is the part that I want to talk about, holds a 41% approval rating among voters, while 47% disapprove of the job he is doing. This is slightly down from the August poll when his approval sat at 43% and disapproval was at 47%. Guys, outside of Emerson, just look at the polling aggregate for Biden's approval rating. Look at this. 40%. That's where he's at right now, 41. And people are going to say, oh, well, that's more than Trump was. Here's the big caveat a lot of people fail to mention. Look at strongly approve. Biden's approval rating, they're like people that say, we somewhat approve of him. With Trump, his approval rating was like 38% or whatever. Guess what? They were virtually all strongly approve. Biden, it's not like that. It's a complete opposite. It's like, we approve of him. That's not a good sign. And I don't get why people aren't mentioning that. The fact remains, Trump has an advantage when it comes to strongly approve or strongly favorable. He does, compared to Biden. Can we cancel the primary and just give Trump all the resources to get a ground game? In a perfect world, we would. But that's not going to happen. Why are these people still in the GOP? I don't know. I think I read that. Cancel the primary. There's an argument they made. You're not going to come back from a 50-point deficit. Give me a break. I mean, you're not going to come back from that. You just mathematically cannot come back from a 40-point deficit when already 75% of those voters are saying they're sticking with their guy no matter what. There's no way. Why still run? That's the part that gets me. These people still magically think there's data out there that shows that Trump is done for this time. Even though, when you look at the national polling, Trump is currently pulling ahead of Biden in RCP and race to the White House. Look at DeSantis. He's getting walloped. But this is just name recognition. Real Clear Politics had DeSantis winning the aggregate 5 months ago, when he was less known. I mean, at this point, who doesn't know Ron DeSantis? Like, a couple people will. I don't think it's 100% name ID. But virtually everybody knows about him. It's like 90%. That 10%'s not going to magically change this deficit. And you start looking at the individual polling, this is what's interesting. This is something that some people like Richard Barris have brought up. And again, it's been a little bit, but look at the likely voter polls, from May. It's been a while, but just look at them. Likely voter, Biden +1. Likely voter, Biden +2. But you look at the registered voting polls, or adult polls, Trump's doing better. Barris has found this. Several other pollsters have found this. Even more recently, YouGov, with the 1,500-person sample size of adults, which that's not a good sign, has Biden +1. For the record, these adult polls traditionally have been far more Democrat favorable because these polls are basically everybody that's not registered. That includes everyone. Unregistered, not likely to vote, everybody that is at least 18 years or older. Who do you think is not registered to vote by now? It's going to traditionally be younger voters. Here's what's happening, though. Trump is currently basically tied with Biden in the adult polls. And that's including people that are younger, they're Hispanic, they're not, registered. That's never happened. Every other Republican, you look at the past, they get crushed by like 15 points in these polls. But now Trump's tied? What does that tell you? There is a shift happening right now. And the people that still deny that Trump's, not doing good with Hispanics or African Americans or what compared to other Republicans, you're delusional. It's not just one poll that has Trump at like 45% with Hispanics. You look at a bunch of these other polls, they show the same thing. Trump's doing great with Hispanics. Trump's doing great even with African Americans compared to other Republicans. Doing great with younger voters. It's like, if it was one poll, fine. But when it's every single poll, it doesn't matter if it's Democrat, a Republican pollster, an internal poll. It doesn't matter. In independent polling, all show the exact same thing. Trump is surging with Hispanics, with younger voters, and unregistered voters. That's what's happening here. Again, you don't have to believe every poll for 100%. But there is definitely a trend happening where working class, minorities, younger people, they're not registered to vote yet, but they support Trump. Usually that's Democrat. Again, I'm not saying it's 100%, but that's what every poll is showing. And this is why the automatic voter registration stuff in Pennsylvania, it could benefit the GOP. Because Who's unregistered to vote in Pennsylvania? Studies show it's mostly white working class voters. Those voters, they're not going to be Democrat. They're going to be Republican, especially for Trump. So you just start looking at it, it's like, again, you could argue all you want about some of the illegal immigration stuff they're pulling at PA. It doesn't matter. If you're going to get all these voters automatically registered to vote, take advantage of it. Just say, okay, we're going to target these voters constantly. Get them to vote, and they're probably going to be Republican. It's like 2 million voters, I think. And a lot of them are white working class people. It's just some insane amount. Biden won the state in quotation by 100,000 votes? This is what I'm saying. This is a net positive for the GOP if they utilize it. That's the key. You don't just have to, get every single voter. Just get, 100,000 to vote for you. And then you got it. But it's just stunning to me that basically every poll either shows Biden slightly ahead or Trump ahead. There's no there's a couple Biden plus 4s, but these same polls in 2020 had Biden plus 15, Biden plus 9, Biden plus 11. The largest lead for Biden since early June, because I can't find anything, was from Yahoo News with Biden plus 6. That same poll had a Biden plus 12 last time. It's just this idea that he's uneluctable. That's baloney. There's nothing here that indicates the polling is fake. Again, you don't have to 100% believe it. I don't necessarily believe it 100% either. I think these undecideds are going to break for Biden at the end of the day. But, hey, he's within where he was already in 2020, or actually far better. He was polling at 46%. He's polling at 47, 48% in some polls. He never polled this high. It just, I don't know what to think. I really do not know how to think about this. Is this just a one-off? I can't see it being a one-off because it's if every poll, it doesn't matter, like I said, Democrat internals, Republican internals, all of them are showing the exact same thing. Who knows? Who knows? Because this could be a fascinating trend to see what happens. Yeah, the median polling error was 5.5% in favor of Biden in 2020. If you're denying that this is not this is a fake poll, I'm sorry, you're not in reality. Oh, shoot. Whoa, what was that? I accidentally dropped the microphone. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. Y'all think the Democrats going to ditch Joe did y'all see him at the UN yesterday? There's people that are saying that Biden's going to get thrown out. I don't believe that. I don't necessarily believe that Biden is going to get thrown out. Just for the simple fact, I can't believe I'm saying this. He's the Democrats' best shot next year. Who do they got? Kamala Harris? Gavin Newsom? I mean, their bench right now sucks. And people are going to say, oh, Shapiro in Pennsylvania or Whitmer in Michigan. Shapiro, okay. But I think he's still, he's still got to build some name ID. Whitmer is one of the most overrated Democrats you can possibly run. And just as of now, again, we're not talking about 2028. We're talking about next year. The only people that have any kind of campaign infrastructure for a national election are Newsom, Harris, or Biden. Of the realistic options. I'm not including Obama. I'm not making any early predictions, but I think that at this rate, Trump will win. Yeah, I think at this point, if the trends continue, Trump's going to win next year. Could have changed, yeah, but what's favoring Biden right now? The one thing that benefited him in 2020, the polling, Trump was ahead. Or Trump was behind by like 10. And now the polling is like Biden +1 or Trump +1. That's a 10-point shift. For the polling, at least. That doesn't mean a 10-point shift is happening, but who knows? Who knows? To be fair, they do have Wes Moore. If he gains more name recognition, Wes Moore, I don't know. Don't know enough about him. I know he's the governor of Maryland, but Orange Man bad. Biden will win because Orange Man bad. Well, that worked in 2020 in quotations, but I don't see that working this time. Because people are realizing that they don't like Trump, but it's like, I even talked to somebody just a couple days ago. He doesn't like Trump. He's like, screw this. I'm going to vote Trump. I'm not a fan of him, but he's better than Biden. How many electoral votes will Chris Christie get? He would get like 5. Special elections. That's another point that I want to make a video on that eventually. The special election garbage that, because special elections are favoring Democrats, it's suddenly an indication that you're going to win the presidential election. It's like, what? Like, you know what? Let's go look at some of these special elections. Let's just go ahead. Because I'm getting real sick of these people that say the special elections show that Republicans are going to lose the House next year. Let's just go ahead and look at this. All right. Okay. So, Dobbs was... When was Dobbs decided again? The exact day. It was like June 24th. But we knew about it in like May. The Dobbs decision. We knew about it because of the leak, which, still, speaking of the leak, whatever happened to that? Will the impeachment rally the resist libs around Biden make a blue wave in 2024 like LT says so? The resist libs are already behind Biden. The fact that they think that's going to magically change stuff around, I doubt severely. All right, let me just pull up the New York Times map of 2022. All right. And again, you know, I'm not saying you don't have to just ignore every special election. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that special elections, forever now, people were saying, never look at special elections. Never look at them. Never look at them because they're a scam, you know, there's low turnout, all of it. Sam Madsen for 5. Why are the Wisconsin Dems so insane? Even back in the 2000s, the Minnesota Dems weren't that bad. But Wisconsin Dems were always insane. I don't know. The Wisconsin Democrats have just... I don't freaking know. And that's a good question, but thank you for the super chat. But all right, let's look at some of these. All right. Let's start with Nebraska first. This was the big stinker. Mike Flood only won by 5. In the general election, he won by 16. Minnesota first. Finstad won by 4 with the marijuana parties in the election. So it was probably closer to like 1. He ended up winning by 12. Alaska at large. All right. That's the one where Democrats overperform. But just keep going, though. New York. New York 23rd. And I think districts did change in New York 23rd. Yeah, I believe that they did change a little bit. So New York ones I don't think we can really look at. But you look at these. They indicate a blue wave. New York 23rd has always been super Republican. And the fact is, the Democrats got within 10. Same thing in New York 19th. The Republicans underperformed. Yet look what happened in New York. Again, I'm not saying ignore every special election, but these people that look at every single special election to exist, it's like, first of all, that's not healthy. I mean, who freaking gives a rat's ass about some special election in the Philadelphia township of Portland or whatever? I don't freaking know. But it's like, look at this. There was a red tsunami in New York, yet the special elections indicated it should have been a blue wave. You look at other special elections, the same deal. Nebraska should have been a blue wave. Republicans did. All right. Is this a controversial take now? Is it? Cole Langdon for 5. Is LTE insane for thinking North Carolina's going to flip? I think he is. Thoughts on the Kristi Noem scandal. So for the North Carolina stuff, what the hell are these people talking about? Just let's go look at this, because I'm getting real sick of these people. There's a lot of people I'm sick of, but you just keep looking at it, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? North Carolina's about to flip. Based on what? Okay, let's just look at the, let's look at the 2024 North Carolina governor. Because this is the biggest cope I've ever seen from some people about the governorship and the presidency. All right, let's just look at this. Look at the polling between Josh Stein and Mark Robinson. Robinson is eviscerating Stein. And this is not just from Signal is a Republican pollster, but even the Democrat pollsters are showing Robinson's killing Stein. Just go back to 2020. Let's see what the polling said back then about Roy Cooper, the popular governor. Okay, 12, 7, 10, 13, all of it. A lot of Democrat. He won by 4. The fact remains, right now, Mark Robinson's ahead. I don't care about all the scandals. The voters already know about his comments he made and the abortion stuff. They already know. Democrats have thrown everything at this guy. But guess what? He's a great campaigner. He's a great speaker. He's a great fundraiser. He has great optics. It's factual. And just look at North Carolina for the presidency. Trump +4, Trump +3, Biden +2, but that was back in March. And that was within the margin of error. Go back to 2020. Look at this. Nearly every poll had Biden ahead by not just 1, but upwards of 7 points. It's true. Let's go back to the same time, or as early as we can. Biden +4, Biden +2. I mean, you don't have to, believe every poll. I'm just saying that this idea that the polling's looking bad for the GOP. What? The fact remains, Mark Robinson in 2020 outran Trump, the other set of Republicans for the Senate race, and basically every other Republican on the ticket. He did. There were a couple others that overperformed him, but people knew about the scandals back then. He's running a great campaign so far. The fact is, people are just mad that he's going to win. And he's going to debunk this electability crap, as of now. I think he's a favorite to win. Could it change? Yeah, absolutely. It could absolutely change, but this magical bullshit that Mark Robinson's going to lose? Based on what? PPP had a poll from last year. They had Stein up by 2. Now they have him up by 2. Change research went from Mark Robinson +4 to Mark Robinson +3 to +4. You don't have to believe every poll, but you can't just ignore everything. Okay, but what if Stein used the Katie Hobbs basement techniques? Well, the difference in North Carolina has a secure election system compared to most other Sunbelt states. And also, Mark Robinson is in fact just a damn good campaigner. And the fact is, he's already like 70%. The entire GOP is already behind him, essentially. You just got a couple of people that are running for God knows what reason. The fact they don't even have the North Carolina governor race as at least tilt R is ridiculous. Just having a toss-up. And of course, Cook Political as a lean Democrat. I would just say put a toss-up, but I'm just looking at the data. It's like, Robinson's already got the party behind him. And I know Josh Stein, he's more than likely going to win, but he does have a serious challenger, a former Supreme Court justice. That doesn't mean he's going to win, obviously, but hey, I think that Robinson's in a very good situation. The fact is, he has the endorsements of Trump, Ted Budd, Dan Bishop, plus some of the most powerful people in the North Carolina GOP. Just do some math. He's looking pretty good right now. Yeah, Jill Stein did not Jill Stein. Josh Stein did freaking 1 point better than Biden, and 3 points worse than Roy Cooper. That's your strongest candidate? Win by 1 or whatever it was? Robinson only scandal is killing Stein the polls. Yeah. That's the only scandal that's, sticking. Because every other scandal, it's not. The whole, the anti-Semite stuff, the homophobic stuff, they've already ran that stuff 100 times. And the abortion stuff also. It's not sticking. When you have a guy that speaks that good, and he understands people, it's not like, these other Republicans that they're like robots. You don't know, what the hell are you talking about? Frickin' the radical left, the radical left. It's just like, what? What are you talking about? But Robinson understands how to talk to people. What is Josh Stein in North Carolina right now? He is the Attorney General. So, and Mark Robinson's the Lieutenant Governor. Why did Roy Cooper get elected and reelected? Because, one, he went against the establishment candidate in 2016. People just forget that one. He went against Pat McCrory. He lost by 0.2%. 2020, went against Dan Forrest. And realistically, he was a popular governor. He was seen as a moderate Democrat, though he really wasn't. But he was expected to win by 8. He won by 4. So, I haven't seen Governor Hobbit in a while. Is she hiding in her Hobbit house? Yeah, I don't know. Katie Hobbs, I don't know how long she's going to last as governor. Because apparently people hate her in the state. Robinson never said homosexuality is filth. That was referring to grotesque school material. Yeah. People read the context, it's like, wait, that's what he said about that stuff? That's not bad. It's these scandals, these quote-unquote scandals against Mark Robinson, they're not sticking because people realize they're full of shit. And it's like, I don't know. I sure hope Robinson does win. I think he is in a good situation to win just because of the circumstances of the race. Describe the Cooper Trump voter like a white working class Democrat. That's who that is. Could Katie Hobbs get recalled? I think she can. I don't get why Lake isn't focused on that. That could have been a freaking freebie. But she didn't. And, well, don't know. There are Cooper Trump voters. Well, yeah. There's Biden Robinson voters. People forget that one. The scandals are called bull and shit. That's Mark Robinson's quote-unquote scandals. Can Katie Hobbs get recalled? Yes, I said that. It's just one of those things where I don't get like why people think it's impossible for Robinson to win when he's winning the polling right now. I don't know why he would say that, but go ahead. Sure. Describe a Biden-Lake voter. A Republican that hates Trump, but didn't realize Lake was a Trump candidate. There's a lot of Republicans like that. There are Trump Fetterman voters. Yeah, we know that. Just look at Western PA. It just... That whole situation, by the way, does... A lot of people are realizing they effed up. Carrie Lake doesn't support the recall because she thinks there will be a spoiler candidate. Just freaking run! Oh my... Just do it. Lake, come on. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff Katie Hobbs, or not Katie Hobbs, Carrie Lake can do, I think. Describe a Biden Mastrano Fetterman voter. A voter that hates Oz because he's Turkish. That's sarcastic, but it's like, I don't know, something like a white working class, like, voter from Philly or something. Or from his district, I don't know. Chad Fetterman's approval rating's awful. Is it like 30% or something? That's what I thought it was, at least. We need Abe Hamadeh to run for governor in 2026. I agree with that. That or Mark Lamb. I could support that. Because the rest of the bench sucks. It's either that, Masters, or frickin' TJ Shope, or whatever his name is. That frickin' moron, the state legislator, who, go look him up. He's a real doozy. Describe a Cornell West voter. A progressive, a Democrat that's a progressive or minority. What governors that won in 2022 do you think will be voted out in 2026? Ooh. That's a tough one. You don't know that. I think Katie Hobbs. That's a big one. Katie Hobbs is the one that I think's gone. I don't see how she wins. It's early, but you don't know. You just don't know how things are going to shape up in the coming years. Like, who knows? Maybe something happens with, say, I don't know, the governor of Alabama or Tennessee or whatever. John Fetterman looks like the guy a TV villain would hire to lock people in a freezer. Describe an Obama, Romney, Clinton, Trump voter. Somebody from Miami-Dade. That's just being real, by the way. Yeah, I think Miami-Dade didn't do that. It shifted Democrat, shifted Republican, shifted back Democrat, then shifted Republican, I think. Shope sucks. They have a 1-seat majority in Arizona, right? Yeah, Shope's just awful. The fact that elected bros love the guy, it's like, for what? What does he bring to the table that's so amazing? Nothing. There's absolutely nothing he brings to the table that's unique, good. It just, I care about electability, so I'm just going to be a liberal on every issue and pretend I'm conservative. Can Youngkin run for re-election? No. They have the stupid one-term limit garbage. Just get rid of it. I think they should just make it like 2 terms. Make it like every other state. Don't make it 1. Describe a Trump Hobbs Masters voter. Ooh. It would be like a libertarian type, I would think. Sadly, not a consecutive term. I hate that. There's no point of it existing. Who should succeed Glenn Youngkin in the Virginia governorship? Ooh. The Attorney General. He's pretty good. I can never say his name correctly. It's Myers, I think. Pretty good. Will the governor of Nevada survive re-election? Lombardo? I think he will. Because Lombardo is pretty good. Or, not pretty good, just like, he's the average Nevada Republican. That's the best way to put it. Sam Madsen for 2. Describe a Trump slash Jeff Young voter. A voter that's vehemently anti-war. That's the only way I can think of. Because isn't Jeff Young against the Ukraine war? Yeah, I think so. That's the only one I can think of. They're just vehemently anti-war. So, and they just like Trump because of it. Texas governor after Greg Abbott. Hopefully Ken Paxton. Don't they need the state legislature to change in Virginia? I think they have to go through the constitutional amendment, I think. I don't know. But I just think it's a dumb rule. Make it like 2 terms. Then do the garbage consecutive crap. I understand they don't want like some old ass freaking dude to be there for 70 years. I understand that, but it's like just set a 2-term limit. That's all you gotta do. Nothing complicated. Just do that. Why is Joe Lombardo so freaking moderate? He's a Republican from Las Vegas. I don't expect him to be the most conservative guy in the world. But plus it is Nevada. It's not necessarily a red state yet. It's getting there, but it's like purple. And the state is a bit more liberal leaning. You know, it's not liberal, more like libertarian. They're like anti, you know, they're pro-gun, but they're not like, they're anti, or they're pro-choice. That's the type of voter we're dealing with here. Pro-gun, pro-choice. So, what are the chances Republicans take the entire state government before 2030? In Nevada? I don't think it's possible. Because the state legislature, how it's drawn up. Which is not because of, you know, gerrymandering. It's like, just because of geography. Unless Republicans have a surge in Vegas, they win Vegas somehow. That's the only way that could happen. Okay, enough to describe the voters. Yeah, I'm getting sick of some of these people. It's like, describe a frickin' Joe Biden voter and a frickin' George Washington voter. You know, it's like, bro. Of Virginia, my apologies. It's possible. I don't know about the state senate yet, but that's kind of the big hurdle. Hey, Rap, have you seen the poll where Trump is winning independents by 15? I did see it. I don't know about it. Don't know. Bird for 2. What's your thoughts on David Clark mentioned election Twitter? I saw that and I wanted to die so badly. I was like, no. He's going to run and he's going to freaking, oh, God. And some of those people he mentioned, like Mary Millerstein, he's pretty chill, but some of those other people, yeesh, they got some problems. That's all I'm going to say, but yeah. David Clark. He's going to run the most terminally online campaign, and we scared off Tom Tiffany for that. Sam Madsen for 2. Describe a Biden Dan Kelly voter. Somebody from Waukesha. That's the only one I can think of. Or Menominee. That's where the native tribe is. Because the turnout was so bad. It's like the only county that shifted right. Hey Rep, have you heard about the Red, White, and Blue Print group? It's an alliance of Republicans on the West Coast trying to oust neocons and actually fight back for blue state governors. I haven't heard about that. Really? I never heard about that. The red, white, and blue group. Blueprint group. Huh. Well, what is this? I think David Clark actually wins it. Actually win it all depends on the campaign. He's not. No, trust me. Even the people that are like hardcore Trumpers in Wisconsin, they understand the guy is. He makes Doug Mastriano look like an effective campaigner. That's all I'm gonna say. Can you show the David Clark video? Nah, it's freaking. I'm pretty sure it's a cameo thing. It's freaking nobody wants to see it. I guarantee you it's fake, but if it's real, I still died on the inside because I think it's real. I said this earlier, but Republicans need to start showing videos describing abortion to counteract the Dems. I agree with that. And this is the most ironic part. Every time you show what an abortion looks like, Democrats are saying, oh, that's hideous. Why are you showing that to us? It's like, what do you think an abortion is? I legitimately think there's a ton of voters, they don't understand what an abortion is. I think there are personally voters, when they think of an abortion, they think of stuff like a miscarriage. They think, oh, the baby died already. It's an emergency thing. I legitimately think that. That some of them think that's what it is. Or a stillbirth or something. But when you show people what an abortion looks like, it's like, that's what an abortion is? I just show some people. Go ahead. Run ads of what an abortion looks like, and you will suddenly see voters realize that's what an abortion is. I'm not saying every voter thinks that, but I think there are voters that legitimately think it's like a miscarriage or something. Like, oh, the baby already died. It's a medical procedure to save the mother or something. They think the baby disappears from the womb. Yeah, I think, again, I don't even blame some of these people because they, like the schools, they make it sound like, oh, it's just a regular procedure. But Sam Madison for 2. Describe a Biden/Clark voter in 2024. A Milwaukee voter, because he was a sheriff in Milwaukee for a little bit. He's the opposite of James Craig, though. Opinions on eugenics. Awful. Should be banned. That's what abortion currently is. Abortion is eugenics. Especially now you got states saying abortion should be allowed if the fetus has defections, such as Down syndrome. That's just eugenics. That's not good. Eugenics has to be banned. That's what abortion is at this point. Yeah, it's disturbing stuff. It's why before an abortion they don't show the ultrasound of the mother. I think that's horrible. You should be required to show an ultrasound if you're in that stage of the pregnancy. They think they just pull out the fetus and it goes away immediately. Yeah, I think they just think that, oh, it just died. It magically died in the womb, and they got to take it out. That's what I think some people actually think it is. But when you talk to people, it's like, when you tell them what an abortion is, they get horrified. They literally just said they want to delete fetus with inferior genes. Bro, I remember certain Austrians said that. Yeah. Go look up some of the stuff the Nazis did. It's word for word what some of these abortionists want. And go look up where the abortion movement really started in America. There's a very interesting person that you read what she said about abortion. It really, it just makes you really wonder, what's the game plan here? It's clear that Reeves will win in Mississippi, yeah. And Landry in Louisiana. What percentage of a chance do you think that there is for Cameron to win? I think like a 35-40%. The Nazis were very pro-abortion. They were. They wanted the perfect society. Sound familiar with certain people? We have to abort this fetus because it's defective. That sounds very familiar. I mean, I can't even imagine that. I can't imagine just essentially killing somebody because they have some problems with, like, they have Down syndrome. It's like, do people understand what they're saying when they mean that? They're saying you should be killed if you have Down syndrome or any disability like that. That's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. It was some lady in the 1900s that basically said, I want to remove... Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of that. But that's where it was. That's where the modern day abortion movement came from. It wasn't out of, women's rights. That's bull. It was a matter of, we need to stop a certain group from reproducing. That's what they said. In the early 1900s, that's what the abortion movement started from. Right? When the eugenics movement was a big thing. Coincidence, eh? Progressive were actually the pro-eugenics faction. Yeah. GOP has a better shot of winning Michigan Senate over Wisconsin. How do we get this to happen? Well, the Michigan Democrats are just crapping the bed. And the Republicans have James Craig, probably. That's why. The ironic thing is, I think if we were to actually show people what an abortion looks like, it would be mainly the women that would turn against it. I actually agree with that. I would have been right on the chopping block since I had autism. There's a lot of people, it's like, why do you think some of those pro-life people that there are people that, guess what, they almost got aborted. It's true. The horrifying fact, I mean, there's a bunch of people that went through a lot of that. Can you just imagine your entire life could have not happened because your mother would have been, he has a Down syndrome. That's awful. Absolutely terrible, or the possibility of it. Not just, it's 100%, it's like, there's a 5% chance of it. What am I supposed to say? How many points to the left of the nation did Pennsylvania vote in 2012? It will be around 5 for certain this time. 5 points to the left? I don't think so. It voted like 3 points to the left of 2020 or 2012. Apparently 95% of children that are said to have Down syndrome are aborted. Jeez! 95%? That's an exaggeration, right? Holy crap, it's real. %95. It's horrifying to think. You're exterminated a group because they're slightly different? What? It's awful. And this is why the GOP fails at this entire argument. Democrats make it sound like, every abortion is like a 12-year-old girl that got raped. That's not true at all. It says like 2% of abortions are because of rape or incest. Republicans have to tell people this is what an abortion is, and these are the real stats. This isn't this garbage ad like, I think it was Ohio, where they said, they make it sound like it's every case is a 12-year-old girl. You notice that? That's not true. Of course there needs to be exemptions for stuff like that. But not for frickin' every other case where it's like, the vast majority are just women that don't want to have children. It's evil, yeah. That's awful. Don't know what to think. when you think about all the people that they never got to live, never got to live a full life because of it. That's awful. It just you can't even contemplate like the amount of people that you never got that never got to live a full life because of it. Never got to live a life. Of course, the ad comes from Ohio. Ohio GOP trying to make Ohio, Ohio. Yeah, just go on the offensive on abortion. Just say, this is what abortion looks like. You don't want to see it? That's the frickin' point. You don't want anybody to see it. They're saying Cameron, Kentucky wants a 9-year-old rape survivor who should be forced to give birth. I'm against that, by the way. Like, I support, like, I've always actually, the only exemption I support is, like, the life of the mother. That's the one where I think that it makes the most sense. Like, rape and incest, it's like, that's not, like, oh, you're gonna figure it out 40 weeks later, but life of the mother, it's like, in a case like that, it's like, there's a good shot the kid may die. Like, that is a unique circumstance where, yeah, it's a little bit different. But that's the only exemption I really do support, something similar to that. I personally support and would eventually want us to move towards. It's a completely different thing, though. It's like, they're trying to make it sound like every abortion is either a minor or something. It's like, no. And then some women lie about being raped or incest to get an abortion. Sometimes a man a crime they didn't commit. Yeah. In my opinion, that's the worst kind of just evil you can do. Should women get the death penalty for getting an abortion? No. I think there needs to be, though, I'm against the death penalty in that case. Abortion is evil, but in that case, it should be illegal. Well, it depends on, it depends on the circumstance. Like, I'm not one of those people that think, oh, well, you got pregnant, that means you should be allowed. Like, no, it's, if you're in the 5th week, it's like, yeah, you should probably be allowed to get an abortion in that case. I'm just against, waiting till the last second to get an abortion. That's what I'm vehemently against. There's no reason to wait till the last second to get one. That's just my opinion. It's, I don't know. And I really hope that eventually America realizes this is an atrocity that's happening daily. And I'm glad some states are fully banning it. God, this stream got depressing real quick. Oh, man. But it's a sad reality right now. It just really is. You know, it's a subject that you can't even talk to Democrats about it because they're freaking nut jobs, most of them. You try to show them what a aborted fetus looks like, they deny it and say, that's disgusting, but that doesn't matter. That's not a life. Then why are you disgusted by it? We're slowly winning on the issue. Yeah, I think we are, but that's why I'm saying for now, just focus on a federal ban late term. Just say, all right, if you don't support late-term abortion, ban it federally. Just say after 25 weeks or whatever, you're not allowed to get an abortion. So that stops states like California from having post-birth abortion. I support exceptions, but abortion shouldn't be celebrated like Democrats. Yeah. I've always believed abortion should be the last case scenario for every situation. Like, there's other circumstances you don't have to get an abortion. You don't, okay, if you don't want the kid, you don't have to get an abortion. Like, we should be allowing people to say, okay, if you choose to give up your kid for adoption, that's fine. It should be easier than it is now. Stuff went from 0 to 100 real quick. Yeah. Well, it's sad what our society's turned into, but Yeah, let's get back to the topic. I think we kind of went over thing. It's kind of that time of the stream where everything's over. But anyways, folks, if you got any more super chats, any more questions, concerns, send them now. Remember, a clump of cells on Mars equals life. But a clump of cells in a womb does not equal life. Yeah, you talk to these same people, it's like, well, it's different. How? Wow, you're not lying. I love your channel for a lot of reasons, but one of them is that it's a fun place with a great community of folks who follow you. But man, is the stream going depression mode? Well, I don't like to get into the depressing stuff because that's not what I want. I want to have optimism for the future, which I think we do. I think we are winning the issue of abortion, but just right now it's true. Well, we allowed for 50 years, and I'm glad that the Supreme Court kicked it back to the states. Ahsoka episode 6. Thoughts? Excellent. 8 out of 10. Thrawn was Thrawn. We got the real freaking Thrawn. Not the freaking bullshit one from Rebels. That actually felt like Thrawn. But still early to tell. So-called progressive Europe has restriction on fetus deletion and immigration. Yeah. It's just like Europe is... When you look at many issues, it is more conservative. There are parts they're more liberal on, yeah, but stuff like immigration, even abortion, they're far more conservative. Lord Rhino for 5 pounds, I should say. Have you seen the British government is scraping net zero policies? I did see that. And aren't the conservatives like in revolt now? They're going to try to get rid of the prime minister for it. I don't know. It just... The conservatives in Britain are just freaking useless. Absolutely pathetic. You need to make a video on Pro-Life Inc. Life Action, Lila Rose. Oh, I may have something planned for them. Because they're just mad because the Roe versus Wade grift ended. They did nothing for 50 years. They grifted on, we're going to overturn Roe versus Wade. Proceeds to not do anything for 50 years. But when Trump does it, they get mad at him. It's just like, he did exactly what you wanted, and now the grift is over. Good job. I'm getting, like, some of these quote-unquote pro-life people, it's like, you're telling me you don't want a late-term ban now? We need a heartbeat ban. I support heartbeat bans. But right now, to stop the atrocities happening in California, New Jersey, New Mexico, whatever, we have to focus on banning late term federally. And of course allow states like Alabama, Mississippi, ban abortion even further. But then eventually move the Overton window and we can ban most abortions eventually. Let's see. Starmer for Prime Minister, yeah. Did you see the AfD is surging? Will you make a video on them? I don't really get into German politics. Will you make another video later? Yes, there will be a second video for today. It just had to do a stream early on because I got stuff going on later. But I never tell people, but I make the videos ahead of time. I make them usually I make them a couple hours before I release them, so... Republicans didn't know how to run an abortion other than just overturning Roe versus Wade. Yeah. Just focus on the Democrats' extremism. Let's see. Remember the UK Labour Party quietly deleted the trans stuff from their website? Well, even in frickin' the UK, people don't support that garbage. And the fact that Canada's Canada, but... That looks like it's backfiring, even there. Hopping off, thank you, at Real American. Yeah, I think I'm going to hop off too again. There will be a second video uploaded today. I just had some stuff going on later, so I can't stream later. Anyways, folks, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy this stream, smash the like button down below. Subscribe. Share with your friends. Hit that little bell. Follow the social media accounts in the description down below. And, of course, join the channel today. Again, this was kind of a depressing stream, but it's our reality. We can absolutely win this issue of abortion. We can. But we gotta be smart about it, and focus on, for one, exposing what abortion really is, exposing the Democrats, and then we get what we want. Thank you all so much. Godspeed to all.